Okay, welcome everybody to Elevation Call. It is September the 17th, 2023, and we have a title tonight, and wanted to share this with you, The Power of Persistence to Create Breakthroughs in Your Business. And I've asked Hal to start us off with a reading that he read to me this morning that I was like, that captures the essence of what we're talking about tonight.
And I'm going to read it from this book that I've promoted over and over again. Look how thin it is. It's like that thin. So it's by Vic Johnson, which in the back of it is the book As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. But what he's done is taken and broken it down into little short, everyday little readings. And this morning, we didn't have this planned for tonight, but I was reading it. And so it's called Persist Until. And I may have even read this before, but here's the quote from the book, The Mastery of Destiny. Great is the heartfelt joy when, after innumerable and apparently unsuccessful attempts, some ingrained fault of character is at last cast out to trouble the victim no more. So, really what this was talking about, let me see. So James Allen, he's talking about the reward of persistence is a heartfelt joy when there's some kind of breakthrough of some sort. He says, if I had to pick one character trait that I think is a must-have in order to be successful in any endeavor, it would be persistence. So anyway, that's the reading.
So we wanted to share a little story with you guys. And some of you might have seen the post in Team Unlimited just to kind of get the picture of what we're going to talk about. But we recently did an event that was a fundraiser. And by did, I mean, we were exhibiting for Zalise. That was in my mind. The organization is called Northwest Arkansas Harm Reduction. And the gal that actually is in charge of it, her brother had died about 6 years ago from a heroin overdose. And so she has a passion of distributing Narcan, which is the antidote to that. And it's kind of been interesting to follow her because the initial organization that she set up, really the sister of the victim who actually died, there were some political issues that she had to basically leave that organization and start another one. And this was the very first fundraiser for that event. And so I was going to have Hal, because I give him all the credit, when he said, hey, we're going to be doing kind of an exhibit. We're going to actually be donating some product. And I want your support in this. So Hal, tell me how you decided to do this.
Okay. So we're going to go back on this. So it was really a benefit dinner where you had to buy a plate they had two spots for people to exhibit. And I was kind of looking down through it. And I know this young lady. We met her directly through Zalise about 4.5 years ago through an ambassador friend of mine, or a friend a friend of mine for a long time, who became an ambassador with Zalise. They came in at gold and ran for about 2 months, would you say, maybe 3, way back in 2019. And their daughter got involved. And that daughter then, one day when we were doing a presentation over at their house for a group of people, this was back in 2019, this young lady, Brittany Kelly is her name. We met her, and her brother had just within the last year passed away from this overdose. And she had started this organization called the Matt Adams Foundation, and their sole purpose is to help save lives. They couldn't save her brother, but they wanted to save lives with the Narcan, which is a fast-acting anti-overdose medication. So they started that organization. We met them through Zalise, and then I kind of lost contact with them. They kind of, during COVID went away and kind of lost contact. And then I saw her come back with this thing called Northwest Arkansas Harm Reduction. And when she came back, I just this was about 1.5 years ago. I started following her on Facebook and just saying, hey, I support you. Just want you to know, supporting your work. About maybe, how long ago did she get back on product?
Maybe 3 months ago.
Maybe 3 or 4 months ago, she got back on product, and just minimal amount, and so of product. Anyway, they had this fundraiser, and I said, Lisa, I want to support this. I want to support her. I want to go. I want to make a contribution of some Zalise products for some of their silent auction. Let's get a plate and let's go. We don't do this kind of thing that often, so we went. Well, we signed up to go, but then I said, she said, you guys can exhibit if you want to for Zalise. And there wasn't a lot of information. She was super busy. So we get there to this really nice place, this event. And I said, we might want to take a table. We might want to take a few things because I got no clue. I know there's going to be live music. There's going to be an auction. There's going to be meet and greet and all this stuff. A lot of people in recovery. Who knows who else is going to be there? Okay. So anyway, back to you.
So have you ever had a war with yourself when you think, hey, I need to do this, but I'm a little bit nervous about it? So that's kind of where I was. So on the negative side, we had not done an exhibit together in a very long time. In fact, all our stuff had like dust on it. So I'm like, and then I was looking at the schedule and there was only 1 hour of networking
from 5 to 6.
From 5 to 6 at the event. And
then
so
the whole
I'm like,
thing goes till 10 o'clock.
I don't know if it's going to be really worth that 40-minute drive. And that night we ended up really not feeling like we had the energy to go. It was late in the day. And technically we really couldn't sell anything because it was a fundraiser for them and they were serving alcohol. So they had a policy that we couldn't sell product.
Which was, very disappointing to Lisa. And I'm like, this is a benefit for them, Lisa. Let's just go and do it.
So I'm just trying to set this up because I want you to understand the whole thing about persistence. We had this beautiful basket of Zalise products and I knew that we were going to deliver it. So we had this commitment when we were going to do it. We were just going to come hell or high water. We were going to do it. And, but when we got there, this is a very high-end wedding venue. And so if some of you have ever felt that doubt kind of creep into your mind where I was like, geez, we've still got dust on some of our items and there's really no place for us to set up here. They had all these beautiful gift baskets. They'd already set them up. And I was wanting to retreat. I'm like, maybe we should just enjoy the fundraiser and mix and mingle and not set up an exhibit.
She wasn't saying this to me. She was just thinking.
In my mind, I'm like, I'm feeling insecure about this. And so I'm so grateful that Hal was with us.
Wow.
Because even though I wanted to retreat, Hal, what did you do?
I just looked around the room and said, we can put our table over here. I'll put the thing on it and we'll stand over here. It'll be pretty cool. It's a beautiful setting. Let's just go set up and, I'll go in and eat and Lisa, you can man the table. That's basically what I said.
And so,
kind of.
So here's the deal, guys. And this is really the miracle of just showing up. Even though I felt insecure, from 5 to 6 was networking.
So there wasn't hardly anybody out there. So we set up and very few people were coming out. They weren't looking at all the auction items. There was hardly anybody out there. There were a few people came up and, have their drinks and all that stuff. And all the other stuff was taking place in another part of the building. And I didn't know Lisa really was all this feeling, you weren't negative. You just were insecure, which is rare for you to feel insecure. Yeah. And so I kind of stood out there with her and we were just talking and so forth. Well, then a few more people started coming out. And so I said, go get something to eat. You got your food. I was at the deal and nobody's talking to me about it. And so after she got her food, then I went and got mine. And I came back about 20 minutes later and now pick up because it was probably about 5:40.
So guys, we sat there and I sat there until
you stood.
I stood until 10 o'clock at night.
Person after person.
And I talked to person after person after person after person. And at the end of the night, I had 13 people that had given me their cell phone number and all their contact information. The very first person I talked to was the captain of the Sheriff's Department of Washington County. And I asked him, this big guy, and he looked like he'd stepped out of a cowboy magazine, big old hand. And I stuck my hand out to shake his hand. And I said, are you wanting to bid on our gift basket of CBD items? And he
didn't know who he was.
I didn't have a clue. He goes, I actually, we are part of the sheriff of Washington County, and we have a policy that we can't actually take CBD. And I'm like, I'm so glad to meet you, because I've always wanted to meet whoever set that policy. I want you to tell me a little bit about why you would set that kind of policy for a health product. And so literally, we had a very, very interesting conversation where I was able to show him the QR code on our ultrasound product. And because he was saying, this is a sketchy industry, there you can get bad stuff. And I said, you're absolutely right. And that's why there's certain companies that, we have a nonprofit called the U.S. Hemp Authority. And we talked about, how can you be safe in using these products? And to make a very long story short, guys, I mean, I was at the top of the world at the end of the evening. I had a 30-minute conversation with him and his wife, who actually had to leave on medical leave from the sheriff's office because of an injury and chronic pain.
And he's going to have hip surgery from being shot back in 2016
Yeah,
in his hip.
He was shot, believe it or not, on the job, and now he has chronic pain. And so they didn't really understand. They didn't understand the ECS system. We had a big poster there. And so here's the crazy part. They bid on the big gift basket, and they're the ones that got the basket. So literally, she called me the next day and she goes, hey, I'm going to be the guinea pig for the sheriff's department. And we had already decided that I was going to go this week, and I'm going to present to the sheriff's office, since he's going to have surgery November 1st. They want to change the policy before then, so that they can all start using CBD.
So it was the craziest thing, because we bid on some other items, like we bid on some other things to support the deal and to support the whole thing. But when I got up the next morning and checked the bidding, I saw what our basket went for, and it was the second highest bid item on the entire auction thing. And there were a bunch of bids. And I mean, what we put in there quite a bit. I can just say we put a lot of product in there, like a gold kit value, pretty much. Yeah. So
more than we've ever given.
Yeah. But anyway, so and Lisa gave an hour of coaching with it. So anyway, but we didn't know who won. We thought it was this other guy who Lisa spent probably 40 minutes. He kept coming back. He kept checking the bid. He wanted it. He'd never tried CBD, but he's got bad knees, and he's a retired business guy. And so the next day, Lisa got the text from this lady, and she said, I think we won the basket. So.
And this is just, I believe the way God works when you're persistent. Today, so I met with her Saturday. Literally, this was on a Thursday night. I met with her Saturday and spent an hour and a half going through the basket and everything that was in it, her history, and all the chronic pain and all the issues that she has, physical issues. And so she texted me today that she had almost insomnia because of her chronic pain issues, and she took R&R and Ultra Dream and slept through the night without any medication last night. And so she goes, I want to send you my sister's name. And so here's the thing. I mean, like, 7 years, guys. I've been doing this 7 years.
And Brittany was introduced 4.5, 5 years ago, and was off product because for whatever reason during the pandemic came back on product. So we met her 5 years ago through another person who doesn't have, we actually saw them at the event, and they said, how's your CBD going? Blah, blah, blah. And, we told them, of course, they went on about their merry way. But 5 years from meeting her, and then we had the conversation with these people. They're decision maker, like
influencers. Like, I've been in this industry now 7 years. I've been in Arkansas for 4 years, and never, ever have I met the category of people that we met on Thursday night. And in fact, as I was sitting there, I talked to that sheriff's captain. I talked to a physical therapist, PhD, who's looking to affiliate with the CBD brand. I met a pet trainer who's looking to affiliate with a CBD brand. I met former product users who had been on Zalees product, had forgotten about it, and are looking to get back on it. I put topical on people. Like, we literally, I stood the whole time.
And we didn't sell a thing.
We didn't
sign a single person up, not one. We didn't, it wasn't even the goal of the night. The goal of the night was to be of service to someone else who's being of service to others. That was the goal, to give to that. And yet we took our Zalees platform and we went to be there to promote an item to give away. We wanted people to bid high on our product so that it would benefit them, but also benefit the cause that we were there to support. And so it was so unexpected. But in the moment of the unexpected, what we looked at and realized was that Lisa's persistence and my persistence and our persistence as a whole was really what brought that about. And can I go ahead and say the perennial thing since
Yeah.
So, here's what we would say is the perennial flowers, you don't see them all year round. Perennials, you do not see all year round. But because they do what they do day in and day out, year after year, perennials bloom in their season. But what they're doing in their non-season is they're still being a perennial flower every day, though you never see it. They are persistent. And so that's what we feel like that we did with this in this circumstance. And, Lisa really, I didn't realize till afterwards because she was so excited. I honestly haven't seen her as enthusiastic and grateful and just blown away by an event where we didn't sell a thing. We didn't have any signups. It was just being there and being present and providing information for people who wanted to talk. And so unique setting. So anyway.
And so here's my takeaway to everybody. And please don't feel like, we're like trying to toot our own horn. I mean, this was completely unexpected. I'm being really honest with you guys. I'm saying do it scared and do it imperfectly, but just do it and do it because of the impact. I mean, just because of this, the wife of that sheriff captain slept well last night. And for the first time literally in years.
Yeah. And then she said today she wants you to talk to her sister.
Right. And I already had mentioned that. So I want to honor and recognize those of you guys who have been perennials. And then there's some of you guys that are like new, amazing growth from this team. And, one of the things that we really feel very compelled to also say about this team, this group, and really Zalise as a whole, is that we're really creating a community of compassion. Because as I'm telling this story and I'm talking about product results, I can feel from you guys the love and the appreciation that these products provide for people. And that is a community of compassion that you guys create for others. And so I'm going to have Hal talk about the leaderboard because I'm really proud of the work that you guys are doing. And, you guys are hitting it hard. You're doing these exhibits, you're getting out there, you're making things happen in your markets. And so the leaderboard is one of the ways that we can actually recognize that. There's 2 leaderboards. One of them is for personal enrollments, jump starts and above. And I'm going to have Hal recognize those people.
So on the leaderboard, starting at number 20 is Kayla Malone in Pennsylvania. At number 20, congratulations. We might hear from her a little later. Marcia Smith in New York. Really proud of Marcia, not only for being on the enrollment board, but she's done a little bit of the doing it scared, doing it afraid.
She couldn't be here tonight, but she's going to tell us about that next
She'll
time.
hear it she'll listen. She listens to our elevation calls on YouTube. Linda Painter out of Arkansas, which is new. She came to our house and she's new.
And let me just say something about Linda. So Linda came to one of our events here at our house, very brief event that we've done recently. And it was really the first time she'd really heard about kind of the ability to franchise and refer this. And she on Messenger invited me into a conversation with a guy named Marcus that we enrolled for her this month. She wasn't even on the line, but I was able to follow up with him. And that is really how she got on the leaderboard.
Yeah. So she did what we encouraged.
She just facilitated the
make the connection, especially when you're new. So Dr. Steve and Jenny Todd at number 12 out of Florida.
Perennial.
Debbie Ray out of Tennessee.
Perennial.
Lorena and Jean Workmeister out of Missouri.
Perennial.
Carrie Beamer out of Ohio.
You going to tell them about
I am, and then Hal and Lisa at number 3. So let me look at this. Pennsylvania, New York, Arkansas, Florida, Tennessee, Missouri, Ohio, all from our team on the top 25 leaderboard of the United States. Congratulations to all of you. So Carrie Beamer. So Carrie's not on this call. Carrie enrolled with Zalise way back when you first started.
5 years ago.
Way back, way back. And Carrie's come to some meetings and stuff, but he's gotten distracted. He loves to sail, and he's trying to go off and sail the world. But way back then, he enrolled a gentleman, his pastor actually, who is actually on Brett Sauter, who's on our personal volume board this month.
Right.
But enrolled him way back as kind of I guess a bronze or wholesale.
Mm-hmm.
And Brett and his wife have decided they want to engage with Zalise, so they've upgraded. So that's what started again way back some 5 years ago with a single enrollment, and then they upgraded because the Sauters decided they wanted to start sharing this product after 4 years?
Right.
4 years later, after they've had great product results, a little bit of life change stuff for them. And all of a sudden they want to start sharing. And so they get a hold of Lisa. So they upgrade. Carrie gets up on the leaderboard because of the upgrade. And the Sauters make it over to the other list, which we're going to talk about now, which is your personal volume list. So top 25 on that. Patty Bug out of Kentucky. There's another state.
Go
There's
Patty.
7th state. The Todds again. At number 16, Brett Sauter, who we just mentioned, at number 6.
Angela Mitchell.
Angela Mitchell out of Alabama. There's another state. I think we're up to almost 10 states. Blue Angel Medical out of Florida, and also Right Parkway Dental, which is Dr. Susan Welch. Number 2 on the whole leaderboard so far.
So this is really a shout out to all of those of you who have really made a mark here so far this month. But I really want you guys to have a chance to hear from Kayla Malone. If you're still on, and if you don't mind unmuting, I'd love for you to share your story and Joshua's story, and then tell us what you want to do with this platform. And Kayla, you're muted. Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Kayla, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can't. Yes, now we can.
Can you? I'm having trouble with my jerry rigging here. Anyhow,
you're good.
You're loud and clear. You sound great.
Okay. I'm thinking about this today when Lisa wanted me to talk, and I got all nervous. Pretend you buy a dog for $3,000. $3,000. That's what they're charging for some of these dogs. And I'm an old-time breeder.
Kayla, I'm sorry. There was a little bit of background noise, so you have to unmute yourself again.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay. 2 years. In those 2 years, he has bit me 4 times. 135-pound bull mastiff. He would give me a growl, and then he taught me how to live with him. I didn't teach him how to live with me. So I tried everything. I had him on Prozac for a year and a half. It wasn't working. And then I heard Lisa, and I started him on CBD, helped turn him around, probably not quite 180 degrees, maybe 150. Put him on Bliss. And I can say honestly, since the Bliss does the brain part, it has helped him out immensely in the last 10 days. Is he perfect yet? No. This dog has severe puppy issues, wasn't raised right. I know what the breeder did wrong. Her first litter, I thought, well, where do you have like 20? And then you might know what you're doing. But so far he's doing well. And I thought to myself, how many dogs are put down? How many people will not give a dear animal, in my opinion, backwards spells God? Why would you just put him to sleep without trying everything you possibly can do? They're not a disposable item. They're a creature that doesn't know any better except what we teach them, how we breed them, and how we handle them during the first 11 weeks of life. She let her puppies go at 6 weeks, didn't care about the fear period at 11 weeks. And I got him at 7 weeks, and he was raised outside. He had no human contact inside. I never saw any pictures. He was brain deficient. He's coming around so nicely. He's going to start showing, and we'll see how he does. But I told Lisa, I says, I think you need to push more of Zalise for the pet project. And I have 4 ladies in my area, because we're big into dog shows, who are willing to help me out. I know there's a veterinarian on the staff or on the directors. And I know the head veterinarian in all the world that taught her, he taught her in Missouri. And I'm going to pull John Bonagora into the project because he is super intelligent. I could go out to him today and say, I need an echo done on Joshua for his heart certification. And he would remember every dog I took out there and he could tell me what their ejection fraction is right out of the top of his head. So I'm going to pull him in and see if we can pull in the doctor who is on the board and see what we can do because I just love my dog.
Mm. That's a beautiful story, Kayla.
Thank
And
you, Kayla.
if you guys didn't get that, so Dr. Jolie Jarbo was John Bonagora's student at vet school. And so Kayla works very closely with John Bonagora. And so is wanting
And
to.
for those of you who don't know, that Jolie Jarbo is kind of a rock star in our business.
Yeah.
She's on
Yeah.
and she, as well as being on our medical advisory board.
She's a neurosurgeon vet.
Yeah.
So
very,
she's
very high level person.
high level person. And then Kayla, the other thing I would love for you to share is just a little bit about your background and just kind of the results that you personally have had with the products.
Well, you can't go blabbing this everywhere, but I'm surviving ovarian cancer. You have 4 stages, and I'm a transplant trauma critical care nurse, trained with the best, trained with the pioneer of all transplant, Dr. Starzl, and then his protege, Dr. John Fung. So I wake up from surgery. I thought I had an umbilical hernia. Boy, was I wrong. I wake up and they tell me you have 3C ovarian cancer. One more stage to go would have been, I'd had only like 3 to 6 months. That was in 2017, but they gave me severe neuropathy. I went for a clinical trial in January in Gettysburg, PA, and then neuropathy is so bad I'm in a wheelchair. I can't walk. That's from good old Western American medicine. And I was not a cancer nurse. I was transplant trauma, all that stuff, but not cancer. But I had to learn quickly, and they never offered to me any holistic meds of any kind, anything at all that would have protected the myelin sheath of my nerves, that might have protected me from not being able to walk. Not a mention of it. And I begged them for it. There's not anything out there, Kayla, that we can do. So I went along for so long, and then I looked at him one day, and to be real blunt, I said, you know what, you're all full of bullshit. I'm not taking it any longer. I'm not. The best help I had was from radiation oncology. He zapped everything on me one time that the oncologist missed for a whole year. She wouldn't refer me to radiation oncology until I said, you told me you talked to them. Show me the progress notes that you talked to them in a year ago. Show me who you talked to. Show me the proof. She didn't have the proof to give me. I said, you get me that radiation oncologist or I'm going to an attorney. So bingo, I go to the radiation oncologist, and I've had 3 more years since seeing him. So I fight for my dogs and I fight for me, but I can't walk right now. And I'm going to say this, I know Lisa's going to be a little miffed, probably how, but here goes. I've been trying to get the company to record the October event so that I can see it, learn, and promote this product, and they will not record it via Zoom live unless I attend in person. I'm all alone. I cannot get on a plane without help. I can't make that trip for one day. It's not worth all the aggravation. And so far, I haven't heard anything, but I'm real tenacious. I'm still pushing.
So Kayla, tell us about your personal results with these products.
Oh, the Zalise has helped with my numbness. I was numb. Forgive me, gentlemen. How do I say this as a nurse? Because we're always so blunt and in a hurry because you don't have time to waste in transplant. I was numb up to my yoo-hoo. I couldn't feel the toilet seat under my butt one day. And I thought, oh, brother Houston, we have a problem here. So I called them, and that's when I came home so sick from Gettysburg, and it was clear up to my yoo-hoo. I am now numb from my knees down.
Wow.
I can feel the toilet seat. I can tell where I'm placing my butt, which is very good because you don't want to fall because you can't get up because you don't have legs that feel anything. I'm calmer. My blood pressure's always been good. The glow and the shield have helped me with, I could lose some more pounds. It's helped me with my appetite. And the friend that I referred to on it, she said the same thing. I crave good food now rather than going for a bag of potato chips and onion dip, which I truly, really like. I'll go for an orange or an apple, and I'm good with that. My sister, I have her on the program. She says the same thing. So the Glow and the Shield are helping me with that. They're helping me with my neuropathy, and I will do anything to help me outlive my dog because he has to go first, so he would not have to be put down or rehomed. That's my goal. I have to live long enough for Joshua.
And you are doing an amazing job, Kayla. I just want to shout out to you that you enrolled 5 last month, 5 jump starts.
Yeah, I'm pushing for 10 this month.
First half a month, yeah. And you were upset that you didn't hit your goal of 10 last month, but your tenacity.
I was capital P.
But your persistence, even though you are brand new to the team, has really impressed me. Kayla has done a number of 3-way phone calls. In fact, I think that's Melanie.
Yeah, she's on. Hey, Melanie,
call
jump
right
in.
now. So Melanie, there she is. I see her. Melanie is part of Kayla's team, and she is also a health professional, nurse practitioner. So Melanie, we're glad to have you. Welcome to Elevation Call tonight. And we're just excited that you're part of our team. Can you hear us okay?
Melanie, go off mute.
You're muted, Melanie. You're muted, girl.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay. Yes, I'm new to the team and I'm trying to work contacts. I just can't seem to get anybody to bite yet.
Well, how long have you been in, Melanie?
Kayla, I think it's been a month.
August.
Yeah.
August.
Okay.
So we'll give you a few more days.
Well, and yeah, and I want to. Here's what I want to say, Melanie. Take Kayla's lead. So I'm going to brag on Kayla because I'm.
Oh my! This is
this is a first. I know, Kayla. I know you. Yeah. It's really not. You just haven't heard it. I've been bragging on you here at the house, so I'm going to brag on you publicly, Kayla. So first of all, incredibly intelligent, passionate person. Incredibly intelligent. She is what I would call a go-getter about everything. What she believes in, she goes for very clearly, and very articulate in so many ways. But here's what she's demonstrated very quickly, and that's a willingness to be coachable. I have seen her and heard her with Lisa be coachable. She's enrolled 5 last month, and I will tell you, new people oftentimes never enroll 5 people, much less 5 in a month. And what I've seen happen is that Kayla has been persistent in contacting and sharing with people her own experience, but she gets them with Lisa. She gets them with Lisa, and then she turns them over to Lisa, and she listens until she's asked to share. And I've not been on all those calls, but Lisa's always bragging about it, and I've heard a few of those. And so I want to really say that Kayla is doing the things that we encourage people to do, and that's to take some coaching and direction and to connect people with her support line. So I'm bragging on you, Kayla.
I want to ask Melanie.
Thank you, Hal.
Hey, Melanie, do you mind just sharing, how did Kayla invite you to take a look at Zalise?
I paid her $1,000.
There.
That doesn't work. I've already tried.
No, she was just telling me that the product had worked for her numbness. And I too have some peripheral neuropathy from cancer treatment. But my concern at the point in time was that one of my chemo drugs does a number on the joints, and my right knee was bothering me. So I used the Ultracell, and within a day, it felt better. So I've been using that product religiously. I haven't been so religiously with the Glow, but
oh, Melanie, get with it.
Hey, I'll go out and say it. I've had some concerns about my blood pressure, and I'm not sure if the Glow is affecting it or not. And
that was a good conversation. So Kayla pulled me on a 3-way phone call yesterday, which we were able to catch up with Melanie, and you know, anytime anyone has a concern, I just always ask you guys to bring me in to that conversation, just because I want to learn, and we always want to respect whatever people are experiencing. I've not seen Glow cause any blood pressure problems, but what we asked her is just use Shield, because Shield helps to relax smooth muscle, which is the vessels, the blood vessels. And I'm very confident that Shield would never cause a problem with blood pressure. So we're just going to see what happens.
Just going to use the Shield right now. Yeah.
Shield for now. And then you're going to keep using the magic cream on whatever joints that hurt.
Yes.
And in the meantime, let us
use the Shield every day though, Melanie.
I just started. Yes. I just got it Saturday.
Okay, Melanie.
So Kayla, last question for you, girl. How are you introducing people? Because you have a conversation with your prospects before you pull me on. How are you doing that?
They all know me actually for the love of Joshua. A lot of them do not know about my own personal cancer. It's none of their business, and I don't tell them. But dogs sell. I learned this a long time showing. I learned it well when I won at Westminster with one of my dogs. They're a magnet. If I could take him to, well, when I start going to dog shows, I'm going to have, if I'm allowed to, I'm going to have a Zalise sign there. And he's going to be the example of how he has come along on his products, especially if he wins that day. That'll work out well.
So you share the story of Joshua with prospects.
Yeah.
And as you open
And
them.
then I go into my, I just had a hot conversation with Regina tonight. She's still stuck on, it has no marijuana in it. It has no THC. And I said, how many times do I have to tell you that? Do I have to buy you hearing aids for Christmas? See.
So you shoot straight with them.
I don't have time to deal with stupid.
That's,
I mean, it's just my.
like I said, we're creating a community of compassion.
I am, but to a point where she's sick again. And I said, I've heard this over and you went to the dentist. Now you're having this problem. And I said, you have a sucky immune system. And when are you going to do something about it? I've been offering this to you for how long? And you're still dilly-dallying around. You can't, it's not worth $112 a month. Don't tell me that. I know you and Derwin have the money.
Oh my gosh, Kayla, you are so refreshing. You know, how many of us haven't wanted to slap people before when we, like, people that are sick all the time that just, don't listen. So Kayla, we're going to keep our eye on you, man. And we're high-fiving you, and you're refreshing.
Well, she's a good friend. I'm allowed to call her back after 9 o'clock.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, I appreciate you sharing with us, Kayla. We love working with you and learning from you, and are very proud of just the courage and the persistence that you've shown as new growth in this team.
For sure.
Thank you for sharing with us your story and Joshua's story. And I'm going to have Hal kind of share.
I'm going to wrap up the call tonight. Just real quick, some reminders. So the trip in February. So the big, trip that everybody's talking about. Listen, we're not trying to teach on that, guys. It is something that corporate's teaching on. We're fully supporting it. We're going to go. We're going to earn all the points we can, the TV and all that. But in your back office, there are far better trainings, more detailed trainings than we could ever do. This elevation call is not about us training what's already been trained. So we want to encourage all of you that we're going to be there. It's a great opportunity, not just to go on a trip. It's not about a trip. It's about building your team and help other people build their team. It's about changing lives. And so that's what these programs are about. But a couple of points. Number one, find all of the teachings on it that are in your back office, or be on the calls. Get points toward those trips by being on all the calls.
Let me also add, wanted to shout out to Suzanne and to Debbie for scheduling calls with Luis.
Yeah.
On
Calendly.
On Calendly, where they actually had meetings about what to do and all the details of that.
And I also want to say that, technology and life doesn't always mesh, right? Suzanne. So sometimes those schedules don't quite match, and we're still learning some of that, but your graciousness was great on that. But anyway, so on the trip, a little confusion we want to clear up. It's been spoken about. So you don't have to pay for the trip in advance, but earn the points, earn all the points you can earn. And if you don't go, you don't go, but earn the points as though you're going. Do everything you can, because you honestly, you never know when you're going to have somebody that you sponsored 6 months ago, or if you're new, you're going to hit something that just runs and you build a lot of points, and all of a sudden, you can go. So there's that. And then the other big thing that we want to promote, and that's get your ticket for October in Dallas. If you listen, you heard someone here tonight say they can't go. I mean, like, because of physical things. And I'm sure that she would go if she really could, but she can't. So those of us who can, what's our excuse? Literally, what's the excuse of anyone who's going to try to build this business and impact people's lives? When you heard Kayla tonight about her genuine limitations on that, and I don't know that anybody has anywhere near those same limitations. It's all up here is where it is, between the ears is where our limitations are. So,
and you can get a lot of points by buying a ticket and actually attending the October conference. So,
and we still have people probably who bunk up. It's not a vacation; it's a work weekend.
The other
fun work weekend
that I do know is that we need to get everyone to City Ambassador, which is 3,000 BV, because then you're eligible to get triple bonuses. And those triple bonuses are really like 5,000 points toward the trip. So if you have an interest in going, and shout out to Steve and Jenny, they're already enrolled. You guys are leading the team, Steve and Jenny, on just, your fearlessness, how you guys approach your business, your leadership with not just US, but Europe and Latin America. You guys always impress me in the quality that you lead your team and us.
Well, Lisa and Hal, thank you. You all are so kind. Y'all just have so much love to give to people, and we just love y'all, and just thank you very much for the compliment. We don't take it for granted, and we don't take it lightly. No. So we really, really appreciate everything that you all do for everybody on this call. Thank you so much.
Hey man, we love it. We're doing it imperfectly. We're doing it scared. And sometimes we have to slap people around during our community of compassion, but it all works together. So thank you for saying that, Jenny and Steve. Listen, we're going to leave another minute if anyone has questions or comments, and then we'll allow you guys to enjoy the rest of your evening. But yes, Kayla.
Wait. What's this about signing up? What's this about signing up with Luis for Thursday? What am I missing?
Oh, that is on the Freedom Call, and also during some of the Thursday lunch and learns, Luis has a sign up that you can actually have a meeting with him to strategize about trip points and how to actually earn those trip points to make sure you know what your numbers are.
Okay.
So it's a calendar.
I'm signed up for that, but I don't know technically what I'm supposed to do. That's why I was asking on the chat. So I thought somebody might be able to tell me what to do. I'm signed up for this coming Thursday, but I didn't see any instructions as to like how that happens.
So did you sign up on Calendly?
I did. Oh, yes.
Okay, then you should get a link.
Me back. Okay.
You should get a link, and you'll go at that time on that link at that time, and you'll be having a straight up conversation with Luis.
Okay.
Now, there's a number of things that you can talk about with him, but the primary purpose of that right now is what's your strategy to help you get to City Ambassador or your next rank, or in your case, how do you help other people on your team get to City Ambassador as quickly as possible? So that's what that's for. Kayla, for you on it's a Calendly link, or anyone else, where can they find the Calendly link, Lisa?
If you go to the Lunch and Learn, that was actually it's recorded in the back office under training. I think I will try to find that as well. But that's where Luis had posted that. He at the end of his training, you could kind of fast forward it, but he shows his QR code for that.
When did he do that? What date
That
did
was
he
Thursday.
do that?
There was a Thursday Lunch and Learn on that was really, really good.
So she asked, when does he do them? And the answer, Kayla, is that a Calendly link, he puts his availability into the calendar, and then you pick a time that works for you based upon what he's already put in his availability for those times. So that's what you look for, is a slot.
Are you talking about the corporate calendar?
No,
it's Luis's personal.
It's called Calendly. Calendly.
And we can talk about that offline. I can help
Okay.
you with that. But here's a question for you, Kayla, from Dr. Stephen Jenny Todd. Do you use salmon flavored pet CBD or the raw?
I use the raw on Joshua.
And just what I know about the pet formula, it's a little bit more watered down for small dogs and cats. Joshua is no small dog.
How much? 135?
135.
Yeah.
He is a horse of a dog. So
Uh-huh.
he's very large.
So any other questions?
Questions or comments?
Comments?
Yes, Christina.
Okay, I think it was Judy Baker, but I had someone was asking with radiation. I remembered her story. Did you use the topical or the body butter instead of the pharmaceutical cream?
Huh.
Judy Baker, can you comment on that? You're muted right now, girl.
Okay, I used the Lachey products all the way through.
Okay.
The night cream and the body butter on one end of the day, and the neck serum and the moisturizer on the other end of the day. I just kept switching them back and forth.
That is awesome.
Awesome. Thank
Great.
you.
Good question, Christina. Thanks for being a perennial, Christina.
Yeah, speaking of that, Christine is one of the main leaders up in the regional event happening at the September the 30th in what's the name of that town? Washington, Indiana.
Christina, do you mind commenting on that?
September 30th. If you want to eat, get there a little bit early. The event is going to start at 1 o'clock, and we're not going to allow food and things inside. Josh Kemp is going to be speaking, Audrey, Carrie Suits, myself, Dawn Richardson. So it's going to be just a lot of information from a lot of medical professionals and things and people that these products have really touched. So I'm really excited for everybody that can be there. We're looking maybe 1 to 3 be wrapped up at 3 o'clock and get everybody out the door, and hopefully that's even with questions. So
And that's Eastern time, isn't it?
that is Eastern time. Yes.
Okay. Because it's a little bit weird. Indiana's.
I'll confirm. I'll
on.
confirm just because I'm in a weird spot myself. I always have to check it. So
Well, thank you very much, Christina, for your leadership.
I believe
Thank you.
Montgomery is on Central Time. I checked that already. I believe Montgomery is on Central Time, but obviously you want to double check that, but I did check that.
I'll post it again on Team Unlimited, the new one, because we do have it out with Carrie Suits' picture on it now, and I'll give the updated time for Central.
Hey guys,
Yeah, double check. Okay.
Thank
y'all
you.
want to see real quick, Kayla posted
A beautiful.
Joshua, great picture of Joshua in the chat. So hey, Workmeisters, how would you like to have one that size crawling over your neck all the time?
That would be fun. We
That
love
would be
big
fun, yeah.
dogs.
I know Suzanne's waiting to talk, but Lorena, since not everybody knows you, would you tell us just kind of the value that you have seen with ultracell with bunnies?
Oh,
Real quick.
yeah.
Well, oh gosh, so many. We've had 25 through our house. We had one of them that had a neurological issue that he was frantic at the bunny house and he would just run around the cage. And we got him here, and he actually calmed down and he got to rest. And so we only had him for 3 months, but we don't know what happened, because we couldn't get that. I had Kitty, our original, who has my heart. He had an enlarged heart. The doctor said, "Oh, he won't live 6 months." And he lived 18 months. And he actually, that breed, 9 years is their normal lifespan. And he was either 11 or 12. We're not exactly sure because we got him when he was older. We've had grumpy bunnies that are so much calmer, that do not, they growl and they lunge and they bite. And we have Quinn that doesn't do that anymore. We've had just, oh gosh, shy bunnies that are now not as shy. They're not, we're not going to take them out for to go to be therapy animals at this point. I might try a couple of them, but they are coming up to the cage and they're not just running to the back of the cage hiding. So there's so many amazing things that it's doing, you know.
Thank you so much, Lorena, for sharing that, because you'll never see Lorena without a bunny and Jean in this.
Pretty much.
on
Yeah.
these
Rare.
calls.
It's rare.
It's rare.
Well, more without Jean than the bunnies normally
There you
because
go.
they're around more.
I don't blame you.
Well, I wanted to let Suzanne
Thanks.
ask her question as
I
well.
I just have a quick comment.
Yeah.
And it's just, have a list of questions when you talk to Luis, if you're going to be, meeting with him. It's a quick half hour, I'll tell you that.
So that's good advice, Suzanne. So you had a kind of a list of questions that you had for him, and that's good advice.
Yeah.
30
And I
minutes.
told him that he kind of opened up Pandora's box because now I have even more questions. But that's okay.
That's good.
Well,
That's
and-
actually really good.
I also want to shout out Suzanne. We've done a couple three-way phone calls with you and some follow-up calls with your team. And what I tell people, guys, if you can just be a facilitator to create conversations, introduce me to your friends, introduce us to people that are suffering from things that we might be able to have a solution for. It's just about conversations.
And then what I want you all to do is begin to imagine that down the road, that people will be introducing people to you in the same way that you're introducing people to Lisa. The great powerful magic of this business, one of them, and it happens through persistence, consistency, over time, not overnight, as Bo says, is that you develop then people on your team who reach to you for the kind of leadership that you all reach to us for, in particular Lisa. And again, you have to start imagining that you'll be that person, because that is the nature of this business. It is not a business where everybody forever comes to Lisa Bell Henson all the time, or Christina, or to the Todds. The role that you will play eventually, when you've done this enough, and when you've hit some success levels and rank levels, is that people will be bringing people to you. Now, you want that. Some of you don't think you want that, but you do want that. And so the more you bring people to Lisa, the better you'll be at that in the future.
Absolutely.
So
It's a learning experience for
is.
sure. Thank you.
Lisa, quick message. When you do make an appointment with Luis, he will send you a Zoom link. I wasn't sure if it was going to be a phone call first, but it ended up, he sent his Zoom link to my phone text. So then I said, email it to me because then I can open up on my computer. But I did have a list of questions for him ahead of time because it does go quick.
Good.
So just to let you know, Calendly is a scheduling platform that is
Spell
used
that.
to establish your own personal schedule. Like Luis says, I'm going to block out these times where I'm going to make them available for these kind of calls, and I'm going to put it on my calendar for people to fill in those spots. And so if you miss that spot, you missed that spot. You will, it's not that you can't reschedule, but he's got you locked into that spot. And so you follow through with that. And like Debbie said, he'll send you a text and or email.
Yeah, and if you do see the QR code, sometimes the QR code doesn't work. I don't know if he fixed that since then, but if he does have a problem getting it to you, he'll send the link itself.
Okay.
I actually have his Calendly link.
Okay.
So I just sent one to Kayla. And if anybody else wants me to send you Luis,
Yeah, because the QR code isn't
Let's
working.
wear
for
him
some
out.
let's
reason.
wear him out, y'all.
Sounds like you better hurry to get on the schedule though, because he's not
Yeah.
available that often.
Yeah.
And he will get back to you if he doesn't know the question that you ask. He'll find out from somebody else.
But you guys, just in closing, I'm not the kind of person that just fires up about travel. I'm very, very purpose oriented, especially right now. But the thought of traveling with you guys does light me up.
Yeah.
And so that's really what motivates me, whether it's Mexico or, where are we in Indiana?
Let's let them in on the real secret. Okay. Y'all ready? We do not, now, y'all can't say anything about this outside of this meeting. Lisa and Hal do not get excited about going and hanging out with Lee Barnes and Jeff and Don Richardson and some of those other leaders. We get excited about hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
So what we want is a bunch of y'all filling up this trip so that we can spend our time with you guys. That be it in Dallas or at the beach. And what's the name of that fancy name of that place? Rio Pasha Rio or whatever. What is it? I don't
In
Where we?
Mexico?
Yeah, where is it?
Hard
Who?
Rock Maya Riviera.
Well, I see. Yeah,
Hard
see, I'm
Rock
not
Maya
into that
Riviera.
stuff. You know, give me a golf course. I'm good, but I'll go on the trip, right? Just to be with you guys. All right.
Because we like to line dance. We like to
A
line
line
dance.
dance. That's right. We're gonna have some fun, but also in Dallas, guys. The Dallas trip is huge. I'm telling you, that event. It's. I really think it's a make it or break it trip in October. I really think it's that big a deal. What's going to be happening in between October at that event starting and then through this trip in February. Those months, the next few months in Zalise are like, and I'm not saying the company's going away, but I'm saying to be truly successful and build a foundation to impact the world and to empower people and the things that we've talked about in our mission statement. These next few months are the months that it needs to happen, is going to happen, if it's going to happen, in great ways. And we believe that they are. We're excited about it. But you know, the more of you guys that are there, it'll happen for you and the people in your world. So anyway.
And you guys, Mary just texted me, and she had a nurse friend who has a son that may benefit from ultrasound. Like, who wouldn't? But the way that to make that happen is just either text me their name and number if they've given you permission. I'll call them. You learn nothing by doing that. Absolutely nothing. And so the way to really learn is what Kayla has done. And that is what Suzanne has done is facilitating a conversation that I'm on the phone with that person. And so don't short yourself on that. If you're super busy, I get it. You know, I'm more than happy to call them and, you know, enroll them under you if they decide to see things our way. But
I told her that you would want a three-way call, that it might be a little bit hard to coordinate it together, but I told her that I could ask you because she's at that point and she doesn't want to talk to just she wants that medical perspective.
absolutely. And Mary, if you're busy, I'm more than happy to make that conversation happen with her. I mean, I love those conversations. And I feel like, honestly, 7 years in the business, I've gotten better at it. And just so you guys know, our desire is not to sell stuff. Our desire is to serve people. And a lot of times what people need is somebody to listen to them. And so that is, to me, our greatest privilege, is to be trusted enough to share information with people and hear their hurts. And so literally one of the quotes that I had written down was, we feed people's immediate needs. That's really what we do in this culture and this really this compassionate team that we have assembled. And so those conversations right now, that is the business. That is what we're doing. And when we can do those live events, that's great, but it's really meeting people's needs on a daily basis. So Mary, I'm honored to help your person. You guys keep doing the great work that you're doing, and let us help you in any way that we can. I look forward to seeing you guys on the Freedom Call. I love the consistency that you and the persistence that you guys show in your everyday lives. You're very, very, you inspire Hal and I every single day. So
I'm getting requests for Luis's QR code. So
send the request to me, because
that's all right. I took care of it.
Okay. I was going to say Hal
On
doesn't
that
have
one,
it.
but do send them. To
And
her.
also,
I'm
I
going to
see
have them after this.
Kathy Talbot, I also see you on this call. You get
Hey,
credit,
Kathy.
girl. Your consistency and persistence is also noted.
Be on the Freedom Call, guys, tomorrow night, 8:00. And make sure your name shows up. Make sure your name, like Pat Poole, you
Judy,
need your name on there.
Judy Baker's got her number on there.
You need your
Susan
name.
Everett's got her number on there.
Oh, that's ambassador numbers.
Yeah, boy.
You guys are smart.
Those guys are uptown.
Look at
Kathy Talbot's got hers on there too.
Look at that. Put your ambassador number on the screen.
That's actually what they want, is the first name, last name, and ambassador number when you log in. So it's easier for them to track everybody for the points.
How do you
Thank
put
you.
that?
Yeah.
How do I fix that?
So there's actually a function that if you go to the top right corner of your Zoom square that where you're on, you can rename it.
Hit the button. We'll see you do it.
And then you just rename it, and then you can type in, whatever you want. You could put a fake name.
Don't do that. Put Pat and John, whoever's name is
Pat Poole, and then your
if it's your
number,
account,
starting with a 7.
if it may be Adnan Zari for her. I don't know what the account is.
No, I think it's Pat Poole.
Okay,
That's
well,
Pat Poole.
put it on there.
I hit it and it just changes the picture.
Okay,
I
but if you,
know what
if
you
you
mean.
do, and it might just be, so, yeah, you can click on rename. Do you see the rename function?
No,
No.
There's
Lisa?
3 little dots.
Look at the 3
At the
dots.
top right
I'm
corner.
more. Chat, apps, show captions, meeting studies, background events, whiteboards. We disconnect audio under meeting
If they're on a
settings.
cell phone, it may be different.
On the cell
Oh,
phone,
it's
it's
not a
definitely
phone.
different. I'm on a computer right now. So what
That's
it is,
different, yeah.
what it is for us is
It
the,
needs to probably have more options.
Lisa?
Yeah.
G. Baker. Susie and I were talking about this the other day, and what we did was to go all the way out of the Zoom meeting, and as you come back in, there's a place where it has your name already. Go ahead and make sure your last name is on there and your ambassador number. So we went all the way out of the Zoom meeting and starting, there's a place to do that.
okay.
Yeah, because that's on the Zalise, the Freedom Call, because it's different. It prompts you for your name and
It
number.
does.
So that's what she's
It
talking
does.
about.
And
Whereas you guys, you don't.
And we don't need them.
I know.
Although we love it that you guys are getting in a very good habit there of putting your ambassador number.
Still hoping you're going to give us TV points for being on this call.
Well, wish we could. I wish we could manufacture them in all ways.
I
Like,
know it, man. We do it if we
Quick
could, for
tip.
sure.
Can I give you?
Okay, good. It was somebody asking a question? Okay, because we have exceeded our hour.
Melanie and I are old political crazy people, but we learned this from politics, or at least I did. When you're talking